Triotonic.
Triotonic.
Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of the Triotonic podcast. I'm Andrew Carraro, and I am here with my co-host.
Jose Rodriguez.
And today we have a very special guest, Anthony Best. What's going on, Ant?
What's going on, good peoples? Thank you for inviting me. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time and coming on.
Oh, yeah.
You and I have known each other for some time now. Like 3 years?
Just about, yeah, man.
Yeah. We worked, this is another one of my coworkers. We had EB on too. So I guess this is like a testament to like how crazy shit was back then, because we got the craziest stories. I think maybe we could touch upon some of those later.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. We have to. It's a must.
Yeah, it's a shout out to EB out there.
So, and I know you were telling me that like you had gotten your LLC done and everything, and you were starting up a business. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what's the name of it?
Yeah, man. Name of it is Priority IQ Transport, and pretty much just gonna be a owner operator, getting loads and just pretty much transferring it wherever the clients need us to.
Nice. And what history like did you have besides like us? Did you have history in the trucking? Like we worked together at JB Hunt, so obviously we had that. But did you have anything else in your history?
Well, I have a lot of family members that do have their actual CDL license, Class A, to pretty much be able to drive those 18-wheelers, semi-trucks. So my family is pretty much involved in it, but I didn't really get involved in it until I would say, 2017, when we started working for Corey.
Yeah,
and then transferred over to JB Hunt. So, I mean, with that time, I felt like for the most part, all you needed to do was have that customer service. So with that, just having that good customer service and learning the business, because we didn't just do one thing, we took on multiple tasks. We were infamous for doing that, so that way we could learn it and do things on our own. So in the midst of doing that, we kind of had a better, I would say, mind frame of the business, and was like, okay, this is actually easier than how people actually make it seem.
Yeah, they definitely overcomplicated it.
So you guys, what specifically were you working on? I know you said you used to be a dispatcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also did the same dispatching?
Yes, dispatching.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool,
Dispatching. Me and Andrew actually took on the roles of being leads, but then my dumbass decided to actually be a lead. And I would say for the most part, it was frustrating, but when my boy Andrew was there, we made it happen. We definitely made it happen.
Nice.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've heard some funny stories.
So to get back on track to like the business and everything, like in the current climate with everything's going on, like do you think, well, you too, Jose, because you're a minority business owner, do you guys think that there's hurdles that you guys have to overcome more so than like a white business owner, a white male business owner?
Personally, I would say for my background, I'm doing marketing, so I'm helping a lot of business owners. It's tough, especially just being a young guy that didn't go to like a prestigious school for marketing or something like that, to like wave that in a business owner's face. A lot of times they don't trust that a business better than them. Like they'll just have different approaches. And then especially on top of that, like I've found that like, even when I read about job applicants, how certain women will like kind of change their name up a little bit to get better responses, or more like you know, like where it's like ambiguous. You don't know if it's a guy or a girl type thing, you know, like a
Yeah.
nickname.
Like Tony.
And yeah, like when I do my ads, I'll sometimes put my name as Jay, you know, like not just Jose. Just because people are really judgmental, you know, so it's like right off the bat, they'll just like decide not to call you, you know, if they're looking at a different bunch of marketing ads. So I just go when I do my marketing by Jay, and it's not, I feel like that's just a smarter thing for me to do. It's like one less obstacle to hurdle. And then once I get on the phone with them, you know, then I can show them the ropes of what I know, and then they'll make a good decision based off of that. You know, until they see my signature on that invoice, and then they'll see my real name. But by that point, they've heard the plan, and either they like it or they don't. You know,
and then you just hit them with that invoice, like wham, bitch.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. What about you, Anthony?
Yeah, for me, I definitely believe that there are hurdles, but you know, it's one of those things where I feel like if a system wasn't created and geared towards all race, there are definitely going to be hurdles. And we have to just find that way of being able to penetrate it. But we have to jump over those hurdles in order for the system to be penetrated. So in that sense, I feel like there is, for me, for myself, just starting out, just being an entrepreneur, I haven't faced that as of yet. And maybe it could be because of the times everybody is just so sensitive on what they could say. But I'm sure that during my time of being an entrepreneur, it's going to be hurdles, and I know that to come. So I'm just ready for it. And maybe that having that mind frame and just running my race is what's going to keep me from even thinking that it's actually going to be a hurdle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's just you know, though, that's just like, you know, it could be my family black, another black family. They may have more an advantage and have access to funds as opposed to my family that don't have that access to funds, but they'll have that head start above me. Do I fault them for having that head start? No, I still have to, just like they run their race, even though they have that advantage above me for being wealthy. I have that same opportunity. I just have to run my race and not watch what their other people are doing, pretty much, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think one other point that somebody else, you know, maybe listening that's on the fence about starting a business and has those concerns as far as like being a minority business owner and the hurdles like that. There are a lot of groups which I've joined in the past, like you know, the Hispanic Alliance. There's one here that's in Bergen County, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and they don't, you know, aside from being Hispanic, they also have, you know, like the African American community has their own groups, and then there's like overall minority, and then there's like Urban League for like urban areas. So, you know, there's always communities that'll be willing to, you know, if you put in, you get what you put in, you know, kind of.
Absolutely.
So there's always people willing to help prop other people up. You just got to look a little bit and participate too.
I know there's like some government incentives for like women-owned businesses and like certain like Hawaiian-owned business. I know they get like tax breaks and like different incentives. Is there any type of incentive for like a minority-owned business?
I haven't looked that far into it, but not that I know of. But I'm sure that, you know, if you dig deep enough, there's some grants and things like that, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely churches that have grants and things of that sort. But I also feel, let's not forget that we also have to put in the work. We can't expect a government to give us money for something that we want to do. We have to work the normal 9 to 5 like we all do, and then pretty much invest the money that we earn into that business. So I mean, of course it would help to get that money, but
the thing is like you need like some type of line of credit if you're going to start a business, and if they look at your name and are prejudiced as fuck, and are basing like, oh, all right, this loan application has, you know, such and such ethnic name, so they throw it to the bottom of the pile. I mean, like that, like some people need that to like get their business started. So I mean, you obviously got to put in the hard work, but like, I mean, look at all these businesses now that are filing like bankruptcy and shit. You know, like even these huge companies. So
now that is true. I definitely agree. But I feel as though, I mean, even if we do hear a no from getting a loan, we can actually ask family. There's GoFundMe accounts that we can do. Everything, back in the day, of course, it was a lot different. But now there's so many different tools that and avenues that we can actually go in order to actually get money. We don't have to just pretty much wait for the bank to give us a yes in order to get a loan.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, you got to take advantage of all the resources you got, but at the same time, the most important thing is you got to have your plan and stick to it, and operate in good faith and shit.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess go ahead.
No, I was gonna go back to the business that you were in. As far as like, I know you said you got your CDL around 2017. That's something that a lot of people are interested in. I just wanted to know more or less like, what was your experience with like studying for that, getting it? Like, would you recommend it to people that are just same thing, like on the fence about getting into the business?
Oh no, I don't have my CDL. What I was saying was that we pretty much learned about the business. I started working in Corey, and
but you said your family members have
yeah, my family members.
Okay,
my
right,
family members have CDL, but not me personally.
But
I mean, just by observation, I mean, the studying that it takes for it. I mean, of course, you need a hands-on experience. And they have plenty of schools. There are schools that would tell you, "Oh, we'll pay for your schooling and then work for us." I don't recommend that. I recommend you actually just saving up the money to actually get your CDL, because a lot of those companies, they would pretty much give you a low wage per hour. So they'll pay you like $10 an hour or even less, or whatever the state's minimum wage is.
Yeah.
While other truck drivers are making like more than $20 an hour. But they keep you locked into a contract that'll be about maybe 2-3 years. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, definitely. And they'll operate under the fact that they paid for your school, so you're paying it back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It does. That is kind of a little. It's better to get your own, license. And, So the type of trucking that you're doing is it like box trucks?
No, it's more the trailers, pretty much the 18-wheelers, the trailers, the cab and the trailer. Okay. With the pretty much a conventional cab bed, that would go from state to state, and it's all a science to it as far as you actually traveling, say for example, from New Jersey to Chicago. You want to go from Chicago to Texas, and from Texas back to Jersey, instead of just going to Chicago back to New Jersey. You want to make sure that when that truck is moving, you're making money.
Yeah, for sure. I got you.
So I guess to segue into something else, being that we're talking about like, making money, getting money, taking out loans, money from Uncle Sam. What do you guys think of like the economy right now? Are you guys like scared? Do you think we're gonna rebound? It's gonna be like big. It's gonna be bigger and better than before.
Personally, I'm not too worried. Like I said, these businesses are clamoring to get started again. The only thing that I would worry about is if there is another second wave epidemic of the coronavirus, which would affect the economy and also effectively really close these businesses that have been closed for a while. Like some of these will really go out of business if that happens.
Yeah.
But I think we're choosing to sacrifice, whatever lives are coming for the better of the economy. And hopefully that's not a lot, hopefully it's not so bad. But I think the economy is going to be fine.
Yeah, same here. I think the economy is going to take some time. I think right now is the perfect time for people to create wealth while you buy low. I know that there's some families that don't have that opportunity, but it doesn't hurt with just asking a family member, I have 200, you have 200, let's put 200 together and buy something. So I think, you know, everybody has that opportunity to be entrepreneurs when the times are down. And I think this is like the perfect time to take advantage of that, and then that things will definitely continue to climb up.
I was watching something today. It said during a normal like 12-month period, the world totally generates like $7 trillion in debt.
Damn.
Within this 3-month period since COVID started, we've generated $16 trillion in debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
insane.
That's crazy.
They were saying that that's like the only reason why the economy hasn't completely collapsed now.
Yeah.
They just created more debt to just give money to people,
Wow.
or else that shit would have like crashed like 3 times over probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Man.
it's definitely gonna, you know, like we've discussed before, it's not something that's gonna disappear on its own. We're gonna be paying for it for quite some time.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Speaking of things disappearing on their own, what about with all this shit going on, all the targets that are going up in flames?
Oh shit!
Listen, all I'm saying is that keep that same energy.
Watch out for Jennifer.
Keep that same energy when the PS5 come out. Keep that same energy.
Is that going to be soon? The PS5?
The PS5, yeah, it's supposed to be coming out pretty soon.
Shit. I was thinking of buying a PS4. I might as well wait, right?
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well, bro.
Yeah, I knew the PS4 was looking a little cheap nowadays. I'm like, why is the price so good? It's coming soon.
And nobody would tell you.
Yep. Exactly.
Is there a new Xbox coming out after that, or?
Not to my knowledge. But I'm sure usually Sony starts it off with the new game system, and then it just takes off from there.
No, have you seen that a lot of these companies are doing like the cloud gaming shit now? Like Google has the Arcadia, whatever, or Stadia, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a controller, and you hook up to the Wi-Fi, and all the games are on the cloud.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's the way. That's the direction the computers are going into eventually. Too.
Everything on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just gonna have like a port to plug into and shit.
And then they're gonna use that opportunity to pretty much get you with the add-ons. No, with like
what'd you say?
Pretty much try to charge you for memory, like the space, the amount of gigabytes that you get.
Oh shit!
You gotta watch that memory.
Mm-hmm. For real, man.
Yo, and if there was the Neuralink shit, I think Jose and I have discussed this, that you could hook up to your brain and you would like learn mad shit mad quick and just be like a genius, but you have to hook it up to your brain, put like a chip in your brain. Would you do it?
To be honest, yeah, I'll do it.
You would do it?
I'll do it.
You wouldn't be afraid of like, you know, the man having the chip in your head or anything?
That's a different thing. If I could get it, no. If I could get it to where it's enhancing my brain as opposed to someone else controlling the chip and controlling my brain, then I wouldn't do it. Yeah, but if it's for me, if it's like to be able to know the knowledge that I have times 100 with that chip, then I'll do it. But I want to be in control of it.
Yeah. How would you do that? You would have to like plug in every so often and update.
Yeah, like a USB.
Yeah, because if you like put yourself on the cloud to get it that way, someone could just hack your brain.
Yeah, I just you know what I'm saying. Just go like this with the chip. I mean, you know, do an update, do a software update every once in a while. Why not?
Yeah, I think that would be my main concern too. If someone could hack me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you just put it for the moment and then take it back out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What did you think?
Now that we brought that up, I might do it too.
Yeah. Fucking Andrew's the guy in the Matrix when he goes into the room with all the screens and shit.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's that guy? What's his name?
Morpheus?
No, the what do you call it? The guy that created the Matrix. Remember, he's in the room with all the TVs and shit.
Nah, I don't remember that.
You don't remember the
No.
what do you call it? It's not like construction, but it's like the I'll look it up while we continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious to know.
He was in like a white suit. Remember, he was in like a computer chair. You remember that scene?
The dream.
Oh yes, when he was in the chair.
Yeah, and he was watching all the TV
yeah,
which is like
yeah,
he was watching
okay.
the Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
Not the
I
conductor,
forgot his
but it was
name.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I would definitely go for it because it really appealed to me in that when he learned jujitsu and all the martial arts in like 3 hours,
Mhm.
I was like, damn, that's pretty dope.
What?
You know, I'd probably learn chess, you know, and like I'd probably
Right?
learn stupid shit like that. But
You know
Winning
what-
like 2 moves.
What's crazy is like if that ever happens,
Mhm.
like what determines who's better then? You know, like what's going to be the X factor that's going to determine like who would win, like say a jiu-jitsu competition. You know?
Mm.
yeah, no, I mean that's pretty crazy. Once I was thinking about like if there would eventually be like, you know, like a virtual reality. You know how they have like augmented reality, and then there's like you know, like Black Mirror where they had like 2 people in a digital world and you could feel the sensation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, so I was thinking, like, imagine in the future, like in 100 years from now, if you had like a computer that you could physically feel where you could train jujitsu and not need a second person, you know?
Mhm.
But then I'm like, that would be pretty scary because, you know, people put you in chokeholds and shit. You know, what if like
Yeah.
that shit goes haywire and just fucking holds you in that shit?
Put you in a busting.
on you.
And just one time he wants you to know, he's like, don't you think you're better than me? But you know, they could wild out, and then there'll be like a group of like vigilante like jiu-jitsu guys, you know, like kind of like karate kid, but like Cobra Kai, but like in the digital world, just killing all the
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu masters, you know. I don't know, I think there's potential there.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So what would you learn, Andrew, if you could plug into the Matrix?
Probably like advanced mathematics and shit.
Oh,
and like algorithms and stuff.
Yeah.
You can build a new bomb and shit.
I don't know about building a new bomb.
Transistor.
I don't know about that.
That seems to be like, you know, one of the things that those guys do.
And Andrew Oppenheimer.
Yeah, you know that was big in your area, right? In like Union City, North Bergen area.
What, the Manhattan Project?
Like some of the uranium rods and shit were built there.
They were building uranium rods in Union City.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's crazy. I gotta look that up.
Word on the street.
There's crazy like Cuban mafia in Union City though, and I think it was like 76. I said it on one of the other pods. It was like
they run the numbers.
Really?
Yeah, there was like 40 car bombings in 1 year in the 70s in Hudson County.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. So I thought it was the Colombians that started the bombing.
It was them with the anti-Castro shit.
Yeah.
So wait, Union City is a mix of what nationalities?
I would say a huge chunk of Cuban. It's like the second highest concentration of Cubans in the United States behind Miami.
Wow.
And then other types of Hispanic. You know, like mutts, like all the different people.
Yeah.
Whoa. They're all a bunch of mutts.
What do you want me to go through? Like Italian, English, you know, Scottish? I'm not gonna name like every single one.
There ain't no fucking Italians. There's you know, just like the retired ones that like were around when it was like the good neighborhood back in the day. They were like the good old days.
This neighborhood ain't
I used to get bread around the corner
for a nickel.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I mean I guess that street has seen a lot of change, right? Bergen Line over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So,
Yeah.
do you guys? What do you guys think about sports? You think they're gonna come back, or?
Well, there's a UFC fight going on right now.
Oh, really?
But
Oh
and they're
yeah, that's right.
yeah, and they're talking about I think July 31st for the basketball playoffs to start.
Wow, they're going right
Oh,
into
in
the
Disney
playoffs?
World.
They're trying, yeah, I think they're trying to move it in a centralized area, and they're just going to do the playoffs.
I think that's what the NHL was going to do too. I think they were the first ones who came up with that straight to the playoffs thing.
Yeah.
Nah,
Are they
fuck
going
out of here.
But Vegas is officially open.
Are they going
Is it?
Vegas is officially open.
Oh shit!
Is the NBA going to keep the playoff format the same, like with the series?
I heard that they're contemplating opening up to more teams, just so they could get, like, of course there were going to be those teams on the cusp that were going to challenge for the 8th seed. So just to accommodate them, but they're not going to put fucking
the Warriors,
the Hornets or some shit like that. Just the worst, the last place team. They're not going to be in it.
Yeah. Tamana, and I understand they actually won what's his name? The new forward that's at New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh yeah,
Zion Williamson.
Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
Yeah. They actually, because of the ratings and because he's like the next NBA star, they want him to actually be a part of the playoffs.
Yeah,
I heard that on ESPN about him.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know what I think would have been cool if they made like a play-in tournament that would be like a 1-game elimination of just those like 9 through 12 or 9 through 16 teams. Yeah. And they would just be like their own seeding, almost like the playoff 1 through 8. Yeah. And they just played 1 game each to play in, so it wouldn't be like too heavy of a burden on them.
Yeah.
Almost like the Final Four, where it's like they all play on the same day.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool, just 1 game, and then
I think so.
Yeah, and then from there, like they would have the bigger amount of teams.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Like, if you just keep it the way it is with the seeding now, it's like you're taking a whole half of the season away. Like teams have rebounded and made the playoffs with less than that.
Yeah,
less than that.
I say all of them play. Let it be a one and done thing, just for this year. And I understand it. The nature of the business. Of course, the owners are not really thinking how the players are feeling about it. They just want to pretty much start generating money. So it's definitely probably going to be a hard negotiating thing between the players and owners to actually get this started.
Yeah, especially in baseball right now. It's like they said it's been like the worst it's ever been. Well, not worst it's ever been in the last 25 years, but the worst it has been in the last 25 years since the last lockout. So, they're the sport that's getting affected the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think that has any correlation to do with it being like the most like privileged sport of the group?
You think it is?
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't know, maybe, right? Why they don't want to get their rights trampled on. They don't want to get treaded on.
Oh, is that's what you're saying? You're saying
I guess
they're like right wing types.
Maybe. I mean, I see a lot of the baseball players. It's more that kind of climate.
I mean, I think there's lots of different people in MLB.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. There's Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, that are all on like fucking whack ass contracts that they like signed them from when they were 13. They don't really have much wiggle room. They don't have many what do you call it? What's the McCutcheons and shit out there,
Andrew McCutcheon?
Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah, you need some more McCutcheons.
Or what's his name? Kyler Murray. He would have been good.
What, if he went to baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of those. But they opt for the bigger the bigger sport,
the immediate.
Yeah,
because I mean, he probably would have made more money over the term of his career if he went to play baseball. But how long is he gonna have to sit on the farm system before he gets like some decent money and shit? You know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
True.
Yeah. Now he's got who just went to Arizona, the wide receiver. Didn't from the Texans? Didn't he get traded to Arizona?
Who? Which one from the Texans? Tompkins?
The best receiver they have. I forgot his name escapes me right now.
DeAndre Hopkins?
Hopkins, yeah. Didn't he just get traded to Arizona?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So he's going to be with Kyler Murray. That might be an underrated connection for fantasy football next year.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
That's right.
Damn, son.
He went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's that Bill O'Brien shit. You heard that, right?
Yeah. He thought that he wasn't a good person. That he reminded him of Aaron Hernandez and shit.
Yeah. And then he said like he didn't want his baby mamas there.
Yeah.
Shit is wild.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah, he better make the playoffs this year. That's all I know.
Yeah.
You know, if you run a player like that out of the team, you got to get some results. You know.
You do.
Yeah.
So I guess let's take a little bit more of a serious turn.
We'll go to the sponsors first, and then we'll come right back on a serious note. All right, so we'll be right back for a word from our sponsors, and sit tight and check this out.
And don't let the bed bugs bite.
Without a doubt, day one, Premier Rank Marketing. They've been with us since the beginning. They've been with us since the beginning, and they help us out with a lot of the stuff that we need to do for the show. So I wanted to give a special shout out to them, especially in the current times that we're in. I know. Talking with the team and everything at Premier Rank, all the people that are signed up with our services, coincidentally, the people that have been with us longer are being less affected by this shutdown of like walk-in business that you can't no longer do. It's very important to build your online presence in these times because you never know when something like this will happen. And, you're doing a lot of business delivery, a lot of business shipping directly to customers. And your online presence helps you with that because it makes you visible when nobody is out, driving around or like walking by your storefront. It's definitely important to get your online presence built and, ready to work for you. If you haven't yet, reach out to Premier Rank Marketing. They can get you started on a fast track plan to get you ready to go. And, again, special shout out to Premier Rank for being there for us. And thank you guys for coming back after that brief pause. We appreciate it that you're still here with us. That little break was definitely good. I got a little refresher. I had just finished my my kombucha. Try to keep my my probiotics in check and shit.
Trying to stay regulated.
Yeah, what did you guys have for dinner tonight?
I actually had a hot dog and a smoothie. To be completely honest.
Shit! Nice.
That's like the true hustler diet.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony?
I actually had a slice of pizza and one taco.
Nice.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Chinese food. I had some fried wings with some lo mein. No, some lo mein. But the reason I was asking is because I told somebody I was getting Chinese food and they were like really scared about it. They were like, "Oh, you trust it? You trust it?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Do I trust it?" And I'm like, and then at first, then he tried to backtrack it. He's like, "No, I don't mean because of like COVID or nothing like that. I meant like, because they've been closed and they might have old shit in the freezer." I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro? Like they're not using anything they kept in the freezer. That was like over." But have you heard anybody like have any concerns about Chinese food recently because of COVID?
Not about Chinese food in particular, but my grandmother was going crazy because she read on Facebook that like all of like the toothpaste and shit that you see at the dollar store,
yeah,
comes from China. So she's like was going around telling everybody she knew not to buy any of like the toiletries from the dollar stores because they're all from China and they'll have poison in them. That's literally what she said.
Oh shit! Nice. Yeah, no, I mean it's real out there. You know what I mean? People are just trying to stay safe, and you know, some information gets around like that. You know, you just feel like it's your duty. You gotta like let people know. You know,
you gotta nip it in the bud.
Yeah, but you know, getting on a more serious note, now that we're talking about duty and shit, you know, like it's our duty to talk about this because it's one of the most important issues.
You meant the other type of duty.
No. It's our duty to talk about this as a podcast. All this craziness that's been going around recently, revolving around Mr. Floyd's, you know, untimely death due to a police officer's excessive force. We've all seen the video. What were your reactions when you first saw that video?
Ant, you want to go first?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was disgusted. You know, you expect more from the police because it's definitely needed. But seeing that video that had nothing to do with policing, and it seems as though it was more personal than anything. I do understand that there's people that don't comply, but for that to happen, I think that just went too far.
Yeah, absolutely. 9 minutes. Like he had his fucking knee in the dude's neck for like over 9 minutes. And it was like 5 minutes after he was unresponsive. So dude wasn't breathing, like wasn't saying shit. And for 5 more minutes, he had his fucking knee in his neck.
Yeah, honestly, to be straight up with you guys, the first time I saw that video, it was before like any media coverage was on it or anything like that. The first time I saw it, I didn't even let it play all the way through. I saw the cop's knee on his neck, and I knew already that he killed him. I didn't have to watch the full video, and I just skipped over it. But then I saw an article which listed like all the things he said while he had his knee on him, and all the whole dialogue and how long it went on for, and that the video was that long, and they had all of it on tape. Then I had to watch it, but then it was so much worse when I watched it. You know what I mean? It was just really bad, and I don't know. I feel like it just reminded me of like when I saw that movie American History X, and he has that like infamous scene that's like one of the craziest scenes in the cinema that he kills the guy. It just reminds me this is like part 2 of American History X. You know what I mean? Like that is this like kind of like the only thing that reminds me of that level that I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a crazy ass scene.
Yeah, and that's just some of my reaction from it. And I was so desensitized that when I saw the video the first time, I just already knew. And I'm like, oh, you know, like another cop killed someone, another minority. You know?
Yeah,
it's crazy that it's like that. And yeah, you know, now we're dealing with all the people like that come out and are defending the police, which is now like, I don't know, is a whole nother story that's complete. I feel like it's so completely off base, you know, that like people, the first thing they'll do when they post this video on Facebook or something like that, they come at you with the stats like, oh, but look at all the other races that die by police. And it's like, none of that is okay. You know, like it doesn't matter, you know, and then all the good cops, you know, like what about the good cops? Like no one's talking about them. You know what I mean? We're talking about the bad ones that make bad decisions and that are clearly racist people that are infiltrating our law enforcement, you know?
Do you think do you guys think it's a matter of better training for the cops? Or do you think like it's like a systemic, like societal issue?
It's definitely a societal issue, only because you know, I think some people just choose not to understand how other race actually are. You know, you have to understand how somebody lives in poverty, especially when you come from a privileged community. You know, I think it's a level of understanding, And that's where I feel it. I don't think it has to do anything with the training. I think it has a lot to do with just it being a society issue thing, you know?
What about you, Jose?
I don't think it has to do with training. I think that some type of training can exacerbate the problem. Like if they're doing, like I heard that this Minneapolis Police Department participated in warrior training, and that they instantly made that like illegal to participate in any type of training if you're a part of the police department. Personally, I think the best thing police officers can do is train in jiu-jitsu, just because it helps them for overall positional awareness. But they also got to be mindful that it doesn't really, that it's a false sense of security sometimes, especially in real life situations when there's multiple attackers, things like that. But still, I feel like that it helps with the aggressiveness and knowing how far someone can go in those types of situations. You know what I mean? Like you won't kill somebody in a chokehold by accident.
Yeah, that's one thing I've heard Rogan talk about a bunch on his podcast. Andrew Yang Gang, one of his policies was to make sure that like all law enforcement officers were trained in jiu-jitsu. And what Rogan was talking about was like, what you said, like obviously like the holds and everything, nobody's going to get shot accidentally, but it also gives you like a humility and almost like a respect for like what you can do and other people.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems with the law enforcement is that it's more like a brotherhood than like, a type of job that you can acquire.
Yeah.
Either the way you become a police officer is you're either ex-military or somebody in the police department. You know what I mean? And then a lot of times now, if you think about it, look, scenario A, I'm not saying every police department has like Red Dragon chief or something like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of these
High Wizard.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these what do you call it? White power organizations and things like that have made it a point to infiltrate law enforcement all throughout the country. So who are they going to bring into the police department? Their boys, you know what I mean? And they're going to just fill the police department. You've seen pictures of full police departments and like, well, not like the entire police department, but like a bunch of police officers from that department in like robes. You know what I mean? Like, didn't that picture come out like this year? The
corrections officers.
Yeah, the corrections officers. Yeah, like you see stuff like that all the time. And yeah, I think that's part of the problem. There should be some kind of like outside internal affairs vetting process where like if someone in your town becomes a police officer and like tons of people know him from high school that he used to hang like Nazi flags from his window and it's like stupid shit like that. Like we should be able to investigate that person and not have them in the police department. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
They got to give the town a voice and let this guy that killed George Floyd. He shot and killed someone else before.
Really?
Yeah, he was involved in a fatal shooting, and then he had 17 maybe including this one. But 17 complaints against him.
Wow.
So that's like
still on the force. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The reason why I brought up like training before, because from what I've seen in a lot of these videos, it seems like the cops, they like panic. They don't know how to handle themselves in high stress situations. So they just panic, and their first thing is to like shoot.
Yeah.
I feel like if they knew how to deal. Like, a lot of them knew how to deal better in high pressure situations. Like sometimes I think this could have been prevented, the many times that it's happened. Now, I'm not saying that these guys don't have like subconscious prejudice in their heads, and that's what's causing them to overreact. But if they knew how to act in certain high pressure situations, I think a lot of these crises could have been diverted.
Yeah.
I think we also underestimate the fact that a lot of these cops are not clear-headed.
Yeah.
A lot of them I know for a fact from various like networks and like studies. A lot of them take stuff like Adderall, which is allowed. Yeah. Now, can you imagine not only being on Adderall but also being on steroids? Which a lot of police officers take steroids. So imagine if you had roid rage and then on top of
That's
that,
funny.
you took speed. You know what I mean? You took like 4 Adderalls.
Taking
Jesus
needles in the
Christ.
butt. Taking needles in the butt. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, adding speed to it. You know, like putting it on fast forward.
And then
That's
being in, like,
crazy.
and then then being in a shootout on 4 Adderall and fucking steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen? Shit's gonna go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
But,
you see that out here at the riots, like some of the cops are like trying to engage like problems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
all the Adderall cops are trying to engage.
Yeah, you'll see they're all like the ones with like the quarter sleeves and shit.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. they get all the tattooed cops out for the riots.
Yeah.
He's got like a pack of cigarettes up his sleeve right here.
Yeah. Well, you know what else is weird? How about all this stuff about at the riots, how they have all these like the peaceful protesters, but then like there's video of like these like white people that are like dressed up in all black, like coming to like start the fires and shit and like break the windows in the businesses.
You're talking about the plants and stuff? Like they're planted there, I mean?
Well, they're not planted there. I mean, they came there to start fires and shit. But I mean, the way they want the media to portray it is like all these people, minorities, looting and stuff, which they are doing. But then it's being like instigated by like some people that are even possibly police themselves.
Well, it was like you and I were talking about last night. Like, say me, you, and Anthony, and like 3 other people were like, you know, screaming, and there's like chaos going on everywhere. And then some random ass dude just runs up, breaks the window, and steals a TV. We're gonna stare at each other and be like, "Damn."
You're like, yeah, there's 3 more TVs. There's 3 of us.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not obviously we're not condoning looting, but the point is like once somebody does it, I feel like the line's crossed, and everyone that mob mentality just just permeates the entire group. Not always, but
for sure.
Yeah, mob mentality. I forgot who I was talking. Oh, I was talking with my coworker today, and I was telling her, I'm like, there's something like ingrained in our brain, maybe that helped us survive in the past.
Yeah, evolutionary. Like
that when we're in a crowd, when shit happens, like you'll have some guy that like never got into a fight, kick someone in the face, like that's getting jumped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like that. It's like the tribalism or something.
Yeah, something that we just can't shut off. That it happens still. You know,
it's like buried deep down in our reptilian brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like a slow clap, a good slow clap. You know, is a good example. You ever been at a show and they start the slow clap?
Yeah, I remember the slow clap.
Now, what is that?
No, just when someone starts clapping like really slow, and then everyone starts clapping, and it gets faster. And
then... Yeah. Like at a baseball game. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you just be sitting in the stands eating sunflower seeds. You start clapping, like you start. Like, oh shit. Yeah, man. But yeah, these riots though. A lot of people are like, you know, they get fucking riled up, and then you have the Breonna Taylor thing, where the police broke into that house, and it was like they weren't even supposed to be in that house. They killed the guy's girlfriend.
They never identified themselves either.
Yep. Yeah, and then yeah, apparently they were trying to put charges on the guy who lives there, and so they finally dropped the charges, which is smart. But then what this is causing is just more riots in different cities, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it just is like almost like a network of riots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard people were congregating in Newark today.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Newark, right?
Originally from Brooklyn, but reside to Newark. And, you know, I look at Newark as my second home because it's a lot of people that want change, that need to be influenced to want to change as well. Can't continue to run on the same standards for years at a time. We have to be forward thinking and start making changes, you know.
But did you hear anything about riots?
Not in Newark. For the most part, the mayor actually came out before the actual right protests. I would like to call it protests because they weren't even rioting. It was more or less like it was structured. It wasn't like people just running wherever they wanted to go. It was like they blocked off streets that they can actually walk and do a peaceful protest.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was definitely organized and peaceful. That's from what I heard. Yeah. And I think some city officials were even there to speak, right? You said?
Yo, anytime I think of the mayor of Newark, I always think of Mortal Kombat.
Ras Baraka.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I think of was because when he was getting voted in, I actually was living in Newark for that little time period. He would have those small box trucks, but it would have like the digital screens on the sides.
Oh yeah,
and they would just have his picture, but it would be also blasting music like really loud. You know, it was good marketing.
Yeah,
yeah, but I was like, how much one of those trucks cost? Shit,
and paraded all around.
Yeah, just my face on it, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, what do you guys think about what's going on in Facebook too? Facebook is a fucking goddamn mess, and like social media.
I hate victimization. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. You gonna go?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I hate the victimization videos. To be honest, I think to just continue to spread the same thing that's been said for years is kind of annoying at this time. And if we're tired, we have to move by actions and not words. And Facebook, I mean, is definitely another source of media. So, of course, there'll be things there to filter out what people should actually see, like how to donate to a community out in Minnesota. And instead, they're seeing videos of buildings burning down, a whole community of businesses being burnt down. I hate it, to be honest.
Yeah, it is definitely a bummer to be on there sometimes. So I know actually Andrew and I have been we've been participating in I don't know.
The motorcycles. They ride. They ride on a dirt bike. I'm in Newark right now. They ride on dirt bikes all day.
Gosh. Yeah, it's that dirt bike weather.
It literally it sounded exactly like the last one. I thought it was like a noise that you had on your computer or something.
Oh, like a shark.
It was like an exclamation at the end of what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I forgot what we were talking about.
We were saying how Facebook and social media has been shitty lately. Then you nominated me for the most influential albums thing that apparently I didn't know. I've seen people doing it, and I'll just be like, all right, live your life, you do you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then not till I was nominated and I started doing it, I didn't realize like people put like a stigma on stuff like that. It's almost like a chain letter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because like I started seeing other people's album lists, and then people will be commenting on it like, "Oh no, they got you too," and this shit like that. Just getting like really putting social media on a pedestal. Like people being like, "No, I'm not doing this," and getting all bent out of shape. Like
for no reason.
It's like, all right, just don't do it. Like, wait, you gotta just get like negative about it.
Some people can like enjoy anything.
Yeah, I just feel like it's such a minute thing, and then other people will be like, it's like think like everyone sees it. Not that many people see your posts. It's like the way that Facebook algorithm works. It's like mostly the people that interact with you, they'll see your posts, in their main feed. That's why sometimes when you add someone new, or you like someone's post, you'll see another post of theirs the next day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no way to see everyone on your friends list posts every day. You know what I mean? You'd have 500 posts. So when someone like posts something like that, they're like, "Oh, everyone's gonna," like they just think like the whole Facebook is watching their post. So like nobody cares. Just the people that you interact with are gonna see this.
For sure.
It's just funny sometimes to see people's reactions. Like they get so bent out of shape if you tag them in something. It's so crazy.
You know what I did hate though? Do you remember like that farm game? What was the name of it? Farm Village.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
it's like 8 invitations for that a day.
But you could shut that down though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish I would have, but it was annoying as hell.
That definitely them wanting the extra life or extra time. They send
Yeah,
everybody an invite, and it's like,
exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
the
what do you
funniest thing too is when it'll be like your friend that like stole money from you, and then you'll be like, Timothy started playing Mafia Wars or some shit like that, and then then it'll be like Timmy just cracked Johnny, come get some on Mafia Wars. So, you know what I mean? It'll be like a weirder one.
Mafia
Yeah,
Wars wasn't bad though.
yeah, no. Andrew's fucking.
It was like a turn-based game. You had to like build your fucking your gang up and shit. I played it in like 08.
Oh, okay. Did you get to be El Capo status?
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. So I guess, is there anything else you want to end off on? Something positive, maybe?
All
Anything
right.
you guys
Yeah.
are looking forward to?
Yes. So I guess being that our country is starting to open back up after the whole pandemic shit. What are you guys, looking forward to the most to getting back to normal? Like, what's the one thing you want to do? What's the the one food you want to go get and eat, or like one activity? Like, what is it?
To be honest, is just being able to go back to dating. You know, we still have to
Yeah, bro.
live our lives. You know,
Been a lot
it's
of
a lot of a lot of gooseneck stroking, and I think it's just we have to go back to mating again. That's what
you
I'm
think
looking forward to be honest.
it's gonna be a long time since we're like fully back to normal.
Mhm.
Like how long do you think it's gonna take you guys for like people to like actually just go back to meeting and dating normally?
Wait. Don't try to change the subject real quick. What about you, Andrew?
Uh,
Try to change the subject real quick.
a concert, honestly. No,
Concert.
a concert and a fucking haircut. I need a haircut.
Okay. Haircut. All right. I mean, I think that's gonna change. Definitely how that whole shit works, especially with the
Mhm.
barbershops having like people packed in there waiting for haircuts.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
going to
that
definitely be appointment only.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think for a while it's gonna change
Mhm.
that, and yeah, I mean that, and I would say for me is I'm looking forward to going on vacation. Like being able to go on
Yeah.
vacation and feel safe. Like I don't have to worry about being on a plane. I don't have to worry about when I get there, like
Mhm.
crowds.
But do you
That might
think
be another 3 years, 4 years.
do you think
Yeah.
that this is gonna like traumatize us, and even when this is here, people are gonna be on like airplanes and cruises, going like, oh shit, like wearing a mask, all paranoid and shit.
I hope not.
I don't know, because look at the
Look at
Asian
Asian.
Asian countries. Like
Yeah.
they've been rocking this for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe, it depends. I mean, I know definitely a lot of people's like hand washing habits have been up and up because of this, so that's definitely, the way to go with that. But yeah, I mean, I guess aside from that, we're all looking forward to getting past the COVID.
Yeah.
Hashtag
And
past the COVID.
Hashtag past COVID.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah, I
I
guess
know we're all looking forward to that second stimulus if it ever comes. Sons of bitches.
Oh man.
yeah, I heard actually the latest was that the Senate did want to do payments, but they wanted to do weekly, which I think was smart because that means if it only goes for another month and a half and then they could end them, they don't have to pay 2 full months in one, 2 payments.
Yeah, there's
So
been a lot of proposals. It's not going to be figured out for mad long. They released their schedule for meeting through the rest of June, and it's not good. Probably won't get anything till like mid-July, if we do.
it's good. It's my birthday coming up, so
Fuck
yeah.
everybody. Fuck everybody who needs stimulus. Jose wants a birthday.
Yeah, well, Ant, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We'll give a round of applause for coming
really
on.
appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's some great guys, man. And
Yeah,
if support in any way, just let me know.
awesome. Thank you, man. And yeah, hopefully in the future, you'll come back on. We'll be way past this COVID, and all the dating apps will be up and running again. We'll have some new stories to talk about.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks guys for coming in and checking in with us.
Yep.
My name again is Jose Rodriguez, and my co-host
Andrew Carrero. Thanks guys for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Later.